If you like bargain hunting, then have I got a video for you. And make sure you hang around and keep watching, because I'm going to give you some tips on how I managed to find these great bargains in places you would never think to look. Good morning, good morning, good morning, and welcome to my channel. So today we have a junk journal thrift haul. I got some great buys. I have to say this is probably one of the better hauls that I've had in a long time, and I was quite lucky to come across some of these items I'm about to show you. Because when I walked in and had a look around, I honestly did not think that there was anything suitable, but I persevered. So keep watching and I will share my little tips and how I managed to find some of these great little buys. So I'm not sure if I mentioned, but I went to 3 different op shops. We call them op shops here in Australia, as in opportunity shops, but we just shorten it to op shops. So this lot here I got from the Salvation Army. So I just sort of went to the usual areas. They tend to have like a crafting supply area, and I did manage to find this telephone message book, which you don't really see anymore. So I thought that would be quite handy just to slip in for some little bits of ephemera. And this one here is a wedding planner, so I'm not really concerned about the wedding planner as such, but it's got this lovely craft brown paper sort of scattered throughout, and then it's got other nice little bits of note paper as well. So I thought I could tear these out, cut off the tab because the tab's a little bit dog-eared, and I could probably even use the boards down the track as a base for journal covers. So there's that one there. That one $2. I do find Salvation Army can be a little bit pricey. I also found this invoice and statement book. So $2, and as you can see, it appears it was $2.64 was the original price. That is probably quite old. So, you know, we can just decorate those up and just add them, you know, to pages, etc. I saw this and I thought to myself, what is this? Like, I think I saw it like that. And I turned it over and I nearly sort of disregarded it, but I sort of went a little bit deeper and I undid it, and I saw that it's some beautiful flowers. I think I've got them upside down. So somebody has gone to the trouble of cutting these out. But I thought, well, they are just so beautiful and they would make a good focal point on a page or even a cover. So I was quite lucky to find those. It probably was from a calendar because I can see a bit of an outline of where they cut them out. So there's that one there. Now, there was a cupboard. It was like a hutch, and I opened up the drawers and the drawers were empty, but down below in the cupboard, I opened up the doors and I found a whole, it was full of these Stampin' Up stamps. I don't know if somebody had put them in there to kind of hide them away, because they were not out on display. But just by poking a little bit deeper and think, oh, well, I'll have a look at what's in these cupboards, I found all these Stampin' Up stamps. So I went through them. A lot of them were kind of like for greeting cards, you know, not really things that I would use in junk journals, but I did find this gorgeous little bird and the little branch there, and even the words, you know, are nice. I can work with those. So I think I paid $5, but it hasn't even been used. It's brand new. Oh no, it has been used. I used it before but it was not used. Okay, and then I found these little napkins. Now I think these are machine embroidered, but you know, for $6, a little bit, you know, pricey, I guess. These sort of things just are so expensive now, so I'll just take it out of all the packaging. Okay, so yeah, I thought that they were quite pretty little patterns here, so we've got that one there, and then we've got these two smaller ones. So I'd have to cut this down a little bit because it's quite big, unless I wrapped it around a journal and something like that, but I'd probably end up cutting this down. But these ones here I can use. I could use them inside a signature, or I could wrap them around the spine of a journal. So I like the colours and the patterns on those, very, very pretty. So that was my haul from the Salvation Army. Then I went to a little op shop, and this op shop, I can't remember the name of it. It's just this random little op shop, and I'm just trying to see if there was anything else that I'm missing. It was just this random little op shop. I think it's run by a church, and it's one of the old style op shops. So you walk in there and it's just a jumble, and it does have that little bit of an op shop smell, but it's the type of place that you can just rummage around in and you can find little treasures. And it is actually a very busy little op shop, and the reason being is that they charge nothing. I got all of this for $4, and I'll show you what I got. So okay, the first thing is I saw a little pile. Actually no, the first thing was on the counter there was just this box, and it's just full of just junk. So I went through them. A lot of them were cards, which were not very nice looking, but as I went through I saw this beautiful little card here. So I think that that is an old card. That is an older card in amongst all of these modern, not so nice cards, but there was that one there. So that was a little bargain there. Then I found some postcards. So this reminds me of my cat Tilly. She's a rag doll, and then we've got some little kittens here, super cute. So grab those. And then I did find some other postcards as well. So these are just some Australian ones and koala bear ones. So they were cute. So I would probably end up covering the tea dye paperback on these. And then I found these. So I like these. These were quite bright. That one's really pretty as well. I can put this on my sewing machine, and I can do free flow stitching. So I can practice with my free flow footer, and then when I sort of feel that I've got a bit of skill, I was thinking I could stitch around these. So that's something I'd like to try out. Then I moved on to the sewing area and like kind of their notions and bric-a-brac, and I looked through all their patterns and I found this cute little one. I mean, I don't think it's like a 50s but it's, I don't know, it doesn't really have a date. I have tried to look, but I thought that the images were just really super cute. So, and then I found this. Now this is a photocopy. Someone's photocopied it, but going by the little graphics there, I would say this is probably 60s or 70s. So I grabbed that. I thought that that would just make some nice pages in a sewing journal or a fashion journal or something like that. So there's that lot there. Then I found these fabrics, and this one here has to be a vintage one. This isn't actually an apron, but I just loved the pattern and the colours on this one. So I also liked this. I thought I can cut that off and use that as a tie for a junk journal, but I also was looking at how they did that tie, so that will give me some ideas for down the track as well, that I could replicate that. And then it's got some little pockets and things which I could probably kind of use and cut down and use in a journal, but love the vintage pattern there. And this is another apron here, but it's got some cross stitch on it. So again, I can just cut little snippets out and I love the gingham, and there's plenty here that I can work with. And again, I can have some ties. So, I mean, there was a whole stack of these. There was like a blue and a black and a green. And I thought, I'm not going to be greedy. Yellow one will last me a long time. So I just took that. But I did find these, and I was really, just the age of the fabric just caught my attention. So they look like a bunch of napkins to me. It looks like cotton. And I think this might be batik. I think this is what you call batik. I mean, I'm not sure, but I've got a project in mind, and sorry, trying to get this, getting used to my new camera setup. I have got an idea for this. So if you have a look now, this is the completed project and how I used this piece of material. I mean, at the end of the day, it's just another option, isn't it? It's just to add to my stash, and I've got several uses for it, but that was just another idea here. Is what I had in mind for using that material. So then I went out this morning because I did want to go back to that same op shop, and I wanted to have a look for some books, but it was closed, and that must be a recent thing, because I know I've definitely been there on a Saturday before, but perhaps they don't open anymore on Saturdays. But I have got quite an amazing story to tell you, because I was a little bit okay, well, this op shop's closed. That kind of foils that plan, and a lot of the op shops have closed around the area, so my options aren't as good as what they used to be. So I thought, all right, well, I'll try this op shop is called Vinnies, and I've been in there before, and I've never really found anything. They don't tend to carry vintage things. It's all kind of modern, and it's generally, items that people do need, like, clothes and, kitchenware and things like that, and children's wear. So very, very limited. But they did have a small area that they kind of have crafting supplies and stationery, things like that. So I had a scan on it, and I thought, no, it doesn't look like there's really anything there. But I've been watching a YouTuber called Curiosity Inc. His name is Alex Archibald. So tell me in the comments below if you've seen him. He is amazing. I highly recommend watching him if you haven't seen his channel before, because he buys up even homes and like hoarders or people who've over collected, and he's got the job of going through and sifting through everything, and he clears out all the rooms, and he has to do it literally item by item. For example, I'm watching at the moment his series on the musician's house, and the things that he's found, like, he was cleaning out the kitchen cupboards, and he just grabbed glass and he was about to put it in the box, and he noticed something kind of rolling inside of the glass, and it was rolled up $100 bills, and there was 15 of them. So that's what he does. He goes the extra mile. He just checks everything out. Like, there was this secret room in a closet which was like a crawl space into the attic, and his friend the earlier day, like the day before, had gone in and cleared out all these clothes that were in there, and they found, they cleared everything out. But because squirrels had been in the house, or like in that crawl space, there was so much build up and pine cones and just dust and just papers and everything. It was like probably a foot thick. So he decided to go back the next day, and he literally got on his hands and his knees, and he just got his hands, and he was just rifling right through, and he found 2 or 3 boxes of jewellery that was just hidden amongst. It would have been lost to time. No one ever would have found them, but he did. So when I went into the op shop and I saw, my first glance, I thought there's nothing really here. I thought, no, I'm going to go the extra mile and I'm going to go through things one at a time. So let me put this in order roughly and I'll unfold to you, what I found. So, okay, let me just rearrange things here slightly. Okay, so, okay, I think, so there is something else off to the side here that is very heavy, which I will bring here and I'll just pop it there. Okay, so I found a little pile of cookbooks. It was kind of in one of those cube style IKEA bookshelves, and nothing very exciting, just, you know, random cookbooks. And I flicked through one at a time, and then I found this book here, Gould's Hummingbirds Address Book, and it's by Chatsworth. Now, I did a little bit of research on this, and Chatsworth, I believe, is a library, and it's very, very old. They do a little story here about the history of the library. It dates back to 1549 when the land was first bought, and then the Sir William Cavendish and his wife built a house which took a couple of years, and then the wife continued to build there for the next 20 years. And it goes down really to 1808 to 1891, where William Cavendish, the grandson, one of the grandsons, he collected books, and he was very interested in science and natural history. And so he got some great illustrated books, and one of them was nearly all the famous bird books of John Gould, 1804 to 1881. And that's what this is. This is just his prints that has been turned into an address book. So you can search, if you like, on Amazon, Gould's Hummingbirds, and you can even get books today. They're about $45 of the original plates. So this is just an address book, but you can see here that it's just got some of the plates throughout. So I thought that was very, very nice find. So that was my first little bargain, and these are stitched in. So for example, there, what I can do is I can just bend the spine back, and if you have a look, you can see that there's threads there, and I can get some like scissors and snip that, and then I can lift the page out, and then I've got something that I can put in as a signature in a junk journal. And then it's got a pretty little plate there, and then it's got this name and address. And there's lots of things that you can do with these, like you can cover them over and then you can use them as writing lines, or you can, you know, make lists of things. Lots of ways you can recycle the pages. So if you're interested in some ideas, just let me know in the comments, because I'm pretty good at reusing or repurposing pages, because we don't really keep names and addresses anymore, because we've got our phones and our devices. We tend to use those these days. So that was just through rifling through some very uninspiring cookbooks. So I'll just hold that up again for you so you can see. That is Gould's Hummingbirds, and if you search on Amazon, you can probably find, you know, maybe World of Books, or, you know, some other place that, you know, that you can buy books. You might be able to get that a little bit cheaper, but beautiful, beautiful images there. So there's that one there. Then I found a little plastic box, and it had birthday cards and just very uninspiring things in there. And then I found these rub-ons. So I am going to do some projects that I thought this would be good for, to try these out. I mean, they're a little bit old, but I'm assuming that they will work. So I'm going to film. It's a video I've got planned anyway. Just an idea for some, you know, junk journal decorating, And this is, if it works, this is the finished product now. Okay, so that was that. Then I found a little pile of, you know, CD envelopes. So they're always handy to have, $2, but you know, you get a few there. I found this card. It's Christmassy, but the reason I grabbed it was because I did like it, but I've also got some stag washi tape, which I thought would be good. So I grabbed that. There was a lot of religious, kind of, I think Catholic, I'm not sure, but I think so. And they're kind of all together. So a lot of it was very modern, you know, didn't really appeal, you know, certainly for vintage junk journal supplies. But I went through the books and then I found this. I couldn't believe it. So Prayers for Boys and Girls. It's a Whitman book, and I've done a little bit of research on it. It's illustrated by Alison Cummings, and it's 1953, but it is absolutely gorgeous, and there's no ripped pages, there's no writing in the book other than on the cover here, obviously the name of the child who it was for. But apart from that, it's in, you know, for a very old book, well, 1953, what, 73-year-old book, it's in remarkable condition. Absolutely gorgeous. So, yeah, will I have a problem cutting this up and using it in junk journals? I'm not sure yet. I probably will, but I don't know. Look at that. Isn't that just beautiful? I think this is my favourite. This is definitely my favourite so far. So there's that. And I've seen these on Etsy and eBay, and $15 to $20, and I got that for. So for this lot here, they probably charged me $2. So there's that one there. Now, in the same area, I found this tin, and it was full of prayer cards, and they were, you know, quite modern. So again, I just sort of went through. I thought, no, I'm going to look through, because I just had a feeling. I just was drawn to this tin. So the first thing I saw was that, and that really, it feels old. And I turned it over, and tell me that is not old writing. We just don't write like that anymore. And that even looks like that is ink from, like, you know, the quill pen. So there's that one there. And then I kept going through, and I found these, and then I found this one as well. Absolutely beautiful. So what I'm going to do with these is, this is my mum's Bible. You can see here, 1974. So I'm going to just put I mean, look, this one here and this one here, possibly, no, I will keep that because that is quite sweet. But I will definitely keep that, and I will definitely keep, see, there's a pressed flower that Mum had in there, and I'll definitely keep that, because I think that at this point in time, I think that that is the best place for these. These aren't vintage, these aren't probably quite new, but the Tale of Timmy Tiptoes, and there's some stickers. These stickers have all been pretty much used. There's 2 left, and then there's one on the back. But I quite liked the illustrations on this. They're a little bit kind of faint. They're not bright or anything like that. Oh, look, there's a sticker there. Or maybe there's some stickers throughout the book. Maybe that's what they've done. No, because I did look. So I missed that one, but that's quite a sweet little sticker. But I was thinking that on envelopes, to decorate some envelopes up, these would be quite good. Or maybe on a pocket or something like that. So there's the Tale of Timmy Tiptoes, and then there's the tail of Squirrel Nutkin, and these ones do have the stickers still in. And then I found this Ladybird book. Again, I don't think it's overly old. It's probably 2004, I think. I did find somewhere the Roman numerals. Here we go. So if anybody knows Roman numerals, I'm thinking that that's 5-8. So maybe not, I don't know. I should use AI chat and find out what that is. When I find out, I'll put it across the screen what it is. But, you know, I just thought it was interesting pages. So that's that. So the last thing I wanted to share with you was, now this is huge. So I'll see if I can get this into the screen. I don't know. Is it just me? I seem to come across these boxes of cards. And when I saw it, I'm thinking, oh no, I've got enough of these. I don't really need them. I've got Women's Weekly recipe cards, and then I've got like these sewing cards with all these sewing instructions. But what it is it's home crafts. It's all sorts of crafts. And so what I'll do, now that you've seen the box and how many there are, let's move that aside. Like for example, if I take this lot out here, so 1, 2, 3. Okay, so number 1 is Batik. So it's just all these like cards on Batik, but then it's got these gorgeous little picture cards and instructions on how to do this. So I thought it's probably about 1970s, just going by the sorts of crafts that are there. There's lots of macrame, and there's things like macaroni art and paper mache, and just the way the photos are. I think it's kind of about the 1970s era. So I think that some of these would be good to tuck into junk journals. They're not overly informative. I mean, it's not like I've read every single card, but a couple that have caught my attention, I did try to read the instructions, and they just didn't really make a lot of sense to me. But you know, I will go through. But I thought what was quite sweet was there was like, let's have a look. There was like things like drawing, oil painting and acrylic, watercolor, paper craft. So paper craft was things like paper lampshades, skittles, bows and round boxes, doll, potential there. Paper printing, yes. So things like that, making paper cuts. But there were, I did kind of go through a few of them, and there were some that kind of inspired me a little bit. But it's just interesting to see the sorts of crafts that were being done back in the day. And there is a little letter here which I thought was quite interesting. So it's Make It Yourself Crafts, and it's originating from Sydney, but look at that, it's like a hand typed letter. And I also found, but there's no dates on any of this, but I also found this little knitting pattern here. And so this is a summer twin set. Remember the twin sets? So that looks like 70s to me. I mean, yeah, the hair, that is definitely 70s. We've got a bit of a Farrah Fawcett flick going on there. So I would say, I put money on it that is, yeah, 1979. So, okay, late 70s, early 80s. Okay, so that's pretty much it, guys. Now I am going to do a follow-up video, and I'm going to do some projects out of some of these thrifted supplies, just to give some inspiration on how I use these. Sometimes I think we buy things and we just think, oh, that'd be great, but then we scratch our heads and it's like, well, how would I actually use this in a junk journal? So I hope you enjoyed my little tips and my perseverance. So until next time, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.